Good evening. I'm LeVonda Wood, and I am running for District Court Judge of the 11th Judicial District, which Mary Wells just told you encompassed Harnett, Johnston, and Lee counties. Let me say right at the beginning, I'm not running against Mary. But I do, like she does, I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you tonight. I live in Benson, where I've resided most of my life. I have a general practice there. I've had it there for several years. And since 2005, I've been a sole practitioner. Before that, I practiced law for an attorney in Harnett County in Lillington. I attended Campbell University Norman Adrian Wiggins School of Law, where I graduated cum laude and in the top 6 percentile of my class. And in 1994, I graduated from the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill with a major in biology and a minor in chemistry, and I also graduated from there with honors and distinction. Now, as a general practitioner, I've handled a wide array of cases. I've handled things from corporate formation to corporate transactions to wills, handling estates, and I've also assisted in condemnations. I've also practiced in civil court, criminal court, juvenile delinquency court, child support 4D court, traffic court, people's court, domestic violence court, and I've been in district and superior courts. So I am well equipped to handle the issues that will arise in district court. But more importantly, I am a die-hard constitutionalist, and that's one of the reasons I'm running for district court judge, because district court should be the first line of defense for the United States and the North Carolina Constitution. And we need district court judges who believe that and who rule accordingly, because the Constitution protects our personal freedoms, our civil liberties, and our individual rights only as long as we protect and preserve it. And freedom's not lost all at once. It's chipped away at little by little, nationally and locally. And I'm 40 years old, and with the increasing lack of deference that I've seen afforded to the United States Constitution from the time I turned 30 until the time I turned 40, it truly, truly scares me to think about what constitutional freedoms we'll have by the time I'm 50, if we have any left whatsoever. And I realize that there's not a lot that I can do on a national level to ensure that America stays the home of the free. But with your help, your support, and your vote, I can ensure that locally, your family's freedoms, my family's freedoms, my freedoms, and your freedoms stay preserved. Because we have to start locally if we expect Washington and big government to honor our freedoms. And as a conservative, I also believe that judges should follow and interpret the law as it's written and not legislate from the bench. Because when judges make the law instead of interpret the law, what you end up with is a rule of law made by one person, not the majority. And you have a law that may be different from day to day. So what is wrong for me may not be wrong for you tomorrow, and vice versa. And that is not what our founding fathers intended, and that is not what our system of justice is founded upon. And also, as a conservative and a former victim of a crime, I think judges need to be harder on crime. I used to practice a lot of criminal law, and I have had several defendants tell me they're not worried about court because at worst they'll get probation. That does not instill a lot of confidence in people out in society when they hear things like that, because it is very important for victims, for the society to feel safe, but also for victims to recoup adequate restitution and to feel that that justice has truly been served. Now, my incumbent, he was initially appointed by Mike Easley, and when his term expired, he ran unopposed. As an incumbent, he has what is called the incumbency advantage, and that means by the mere fact that he's sitting on the bench, he has a very high probability of being reelected, not because of his qualifications, not because of his beliefs, and not because of his values. And that does put judicial candidates, all of us who aren't incumbents, at a disadvantage. To increase that disadvantage, it's my understanding when you look at the ballot, the seat that each of us is running for, it is named after the particular judge who we are running against. I think that speaks for itself. But So all of us non-incumbents have a very hard road to hoe. So I am asking for your help. I'm asking for your vote, and I'm asking for your support. And more importantly, I'm asking for your prayers. But more importantly than all of this, I am asking that you take the time to find out who the truly conservative candidates are. Because as Mary Wells says, there are a lot of candidates this election representing that they have conservative values, when in fact they don't. They have just jumped on the conservative bandwagon because they think it's the best way to get elected or re-elected. And for the sake of our communities and for the sake of our nations, I implore you to find out who the truly conservative candidates are. And I thank you. I would thank you for your vote, and I thank you for listening.